Pokeball.
The Straits Times reports, headline, Iran threatens to target U.S. tech firms if more of its leaders are killed. So instead of them just making the deal that they know they're going to have to make anyway, because they've been completely crippled by the U.S. strikes, they are doubling down with whatever they think they have left, and they are targeting companies, they meaning the Iran's Revolutionary Guard. And I'm looking at this article while I'm talking. On 31 March said that they would target leading U.S. tech companies like Apple, Google, Meta, and if more Iranian leaders were killed in, quote, targeted assassinations. NVIDIA was also mentioned. What you gonna do? What are you gonna use? What are you gonna do it with? What are you going to use? Because you've been decimated. And this is one of the reasons why I reiterate, this is why this had to be done. Iran has been threatening other countries, not just the U.S., and we know they've done it, death to America. They've been saying it for almost 50 years now. And this is the time where you have got to strike, meaning, obviously it had to be led by President Trump, because nobody else has the freaking testicular fortitude to get this done, especially at this level. So, of course, the few individuals who are left and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard are going to try those who are on the radical cleric side. These are not the people that President Trump is negotiating with, because, see, there's a schism here. There is the Iranian people who want their freedom, the Persians who want their freedom and have been thanking President Trump ever since the strikes started. And then you got the crazy clerics who are the religious fanatics over there, who are the ones issuing these threats. And clearly they don't know what's going on. So they're still trying to pump their chests up and act like they're the ones who are still in control when the Ayatollah was taken out over a month ago. And somehow y'all still think you have this capability. With what? The countries that sided with Iran, mostly based on fear and oil, they have left you. They're not going to deal with it. China, Russia, yeah. They're trying to make some money now, because there is an opportunity in all of this racket. There is a chance to make money and do good things for your people, something that the religious fanatic clerics don't want, because they want to keep people subjugated under their boot.
Hey, John.
And anybody who doesn't understand that can go and just fuck off, because you have no idea of geopolitics. All you know is no kings, which is really the no brains rally. They don't understand shit. Let's just put it in simple terms for the idiots who think that this could have just gone on for years, and that nothing should have been done to address it. Just leave them alone. Just keep giving them money like Obama, Slim Slacks did. Keep giving them billions and billions and trillions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they'll just stop threatening everybody. Do you know how much they have threatened people in their own region? Do you know how much they have threatened the countries that are now tourist destinations, that figured out a couple of weeks ago, and just as early as last week, that you got to do something about the devil who lives right in your vicinity. You can't just hope that somebody else is going to take care of your defense. Oh, Dubai, UAE, Oman, the Gold Coast, y'all got to, Turkey, you got to figure out your own defense against Iran and the Houthis and these fucking crazy people who ain't never going to shut the hell up, and they ain't never going to leave you alone. Let me put it in simple terms there again. The bully keeps coming to school every day, stealing your lunch money, slapping you upside the head, and pulling your drawers up to your back. Are you going to tolerate that for an entire 4 years of going to high school or middle school? Are you going to tolerate that? Or are you going to take the bully to the mat and beat his ass? bit him to his damn socks so that he comes to school the following week and he is asking you to forgive him for all the things he did to you. Okay? You're the hero because you beat that bully's ass in front of the entire school. And he's not stealing your lunch money no more and slapping you upside the head and pulling your drawers up to your back. At some point, somebody had to take the initiative, and it is President Trump. And let me refer to something else that the idiot media has forgotten, which is President Trump and Marco Rubio, Secretary Marco Rubio. Oh, I got that right this time. I usually call him Senator. Freudian slip. To those who say that, oh, there's no plan, Trump ain't got no plan, he ain't got no plan, then just blah, 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 blah. No, here's the plan from Senator, goddamn, I just did it again, Marco Rubio. Number one, okay, he was on Good Morning America. I don't know why, but it's fine. Number one, the destruction of the Iranian Air Force. Number two, the destruction of their Navy.
Hey, Heather.
Number three, the severe
Yeah, I seen her going. I kind of liked her, but I guess she wasn't doing her job.
Finishing of their missile launching capability. And number four, the destruction of their factories so they cannot make more missiles and more drones to threaten us and other countries that partner with us in the future. Eric Doherty posted this on X today. Go follow him. Check out his posts. He's very thorough. You cannot keep allowing bullies to threaten you the rest of your life, or you will never get past your fear. That is what is happening right now. And other countries are figuring out, we got to do something about defense because we cannot keep allowing them to la, 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 and steal our money and slap us upside the head and pull your drawers up to your back. It's time to fight the bully and make him go somewhere and sit the hell down and shut the hell up. That's what's happening.
Amen. Karen Kennedy for president, I think. All right, in Japan, this guy's a pretty good cowboy. It's a little short clip, but it's pretty good. Watch how good this guy is with handling a gun. That's pretty good if you ask me. I don't know. Why don't we go? Should I go to the? I'm going to go to the Laura Loomer one. All the well, no, I won't. I'm going to go to this one. Okay. Mexico, they're bringing in fentanyl. Now they're coming in through Canada. They're bringing in all the fentanyl that way. Now they're trying to. The China's doing that up through Canada.
So wait, you're saying that no more? Are you saying in addition to Mexico produce fentanyl, or it's all moved to Canada?
I think the majority is moved to Canada.
The majority of it's moved to Canada.
Yes. I am 99% sure about that because you can never be 100% sure, but I am so sure about that. Last summer, I wanted to crack down on this story because I had an individual reach out to me who was an operative for the Sinaloa cartel working in Canada, running these labs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear, what happened?
He showed me the labs that the Sinaloa cartel is operating with.
Physically?
Yeah.
Where are they putting them?
They're putting them in suburban sort of. So they're particularly in the West Coast, in BC and in Alberta, which is like a prairie province. And so there's a lot of farmland and it's residential. And prior to this, it was meth labs that they had running out there. And there would always be like a random meth lab explosion in Abbotsford or, this is like a smaller city. And then these turned into fentanyl labs that were completely under the radar because we also didn't have Canadian law enforcement like patrolling these areas to an extent that they would patrol like a large city like Vancouver or Toronto. So you're bringing in precursors from the Port of Vancouver easily because less than 1% of cargo that comes into the Port of Vancouver is actually inspected by authorities. Or
less than how much?
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%?
That is an official number, yes. So the majority of the cargo that's coming into the Port of Vancouver is unmonitored. And you have longshoremen that are on organized crime payroll.
It is now, John.
or turning a blind eye. These precursors are being brought to labs throughout the lower mainland, and they are producing fentanyl there. And it started off as distributing this product throughout Canada.
I have heard
because
that, John.
Just like the United States, there has been this insatiable appetite for fentanyl in Canada. During the pandemic, more people at one point were dying of fentanyl overdose deaths than from COVID. So that was a major health crisis. And then there's this major crackdown at the southern border. You already have cartel operatives established in the north. You have over 5,000 miles of practically unprotected border. You know, it's Greenland, and you can fly across, you can drive your boat across, you can drive your dirt bike across. And that just left it as open field for these members of organized crime to start to bring their operations to the next level by trafficking everything into the United States. And it's important to keep in mind that Canadian law enforcement,
it's not just about making the money, though. Part of this is to take down America.
Knows this is happening. Very aware. Has been aware since around 2017.
Unbelievable. Okay, she torches Gavin Newsom pretty bad here.
People pointing out fraud in your state, while I get that it's a little bit humbling, should not make you angry. It should make you want to fix the fraud. These guys, it's so telling that they get angry at the people that uncover the fraud.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing they do. It's like some Honduran illegal who should never be in this country shoots some 18-year-old in the back, and then Trump sends a tweet out and they go, look at him politicizing this. Okay, you should be looking at the criminal who's shooting the 18-year-old in the back instead of worrying about Trump. Maybe Trump is politicizing it.
Yeah.
It's still in your city and you're still letting it happen. And maybe all these guys hate Newsom, and they do hate Newsom, but it's still fraud and it's still in your city. Now, go ahead and debunk it.
Yeah.
Then just go ahead and say these guys are liars. My team looked into it. None of this exists. They never say that. They just yell at the person that's exposing. This is like yelling at an oncologist for telling you have brain cancer.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny, I tell you. All right, here's some more on Gavin Newsom.
Oh, dirty Gavin Newsom, I caught you. So a couple days ago, I had posted about a congressman calling for the investigation of where the fire aid money had gone to. There was a fundraiser that was created and over $100 million was raised towards direct relief to the fire victims in LA. This letter was sent to Pam Bondi to ask for the investigation of where the funds went. People like Spencer Pratt, this guy has been very loud about the fact that none of the fire victims, including him and his wife, have received any funds. And he came out with a video calling out the fact that it's been discovered that Gavin Newsom and a nonprofit that his wife is tied to took some of the relief funds. And this is where we revealed the shady Newsom. So being who I am, I just don't take anything at a surface level on social media. I decided to go to the fire aid website, where it does display that a total of $75 million has been given out of the $100 million. And I clicked on round 2. It starts off with this one where it talks about how $700,000 was given for critical information for fire victims. Then when you scroll down, you do see Cal Volunteers, which is an organization that got a grant that took some of the money. I need you to pay attention to the one beneath it that says Center for Nonprofit Management. Remember that. This story started gaining more traction and more coverage started hitting this because
Heather, do you trust them?
Go to Cal Volunteer and you check out the commission. Guess who is the honorary chair? That's right, Jennifer Newsom. Guys, Gavin Newsom's wife. She is the honorary chairman of Cal Volunteer. Decided to go back to the fire aid website. And guess what is conveniently missing on the list of people that got grants on round 2? Remember how I told you Center for Nonprofit Management? Below that and above that was Cal Volunteer. But today on the website, if you go search round 1 and round 2, somehow Cal Volunteer disappeared from the list of people that got grants. Now what appears above Center for Nonprofit Management is California Local Conservation Corps. Yes, you can scour through that list. You're not going to find Cal Volunteer on there anymore. What are you hiding, new scum? We already figured it out that your wife is leading one of the nonprofits that got the grant. So we already know you took the money from the fire victim. You refused to bring voter ID back to get federal funding to the fire victim. So when you're out there on the campaign trail talking about how much you care about Californians, you're lying. We caught you lying. You're stealing from the fire victim. You somehow conveniently got the name deleted off the website. You are trash, Gavin Newscom.
He sure is. But yet the Democrats going to do everything they can to get him into power. I tell you that. All right, here's more on the homeless area in Los Angeles area. Newsom got tons of money for it.
What's up, you guys? This is Eric with Inner Rhythm Media. I'm here in the beautiful Palms, California, on the border of Culver City, where Project Home Key by Gavin Newsom has renovated and rebuilt another housing facility, this time for seniors that are homeless. Purchased in 2023 in June by Stephen Taylor for $11.2 million. This wonderful assisted living facility built in 1968 is going to be renovated and going to be up and running by February of 2025. Okay? But, you know, it's daylight savings. All sorts of stuff's been going on, and they haven't quite finished it yet. No one's working today, but they're going to get back to it soon. Okay, they just ran into a tiny speed bump. There's been an internal review of Weingard Center, and a federal investigation has been launched. But, you know, otherwise, it's a beautiful facility. Okay, you could just throw away stuff when you get here because there's a storage bin. All right. Can't get in. There's all sorts of beautiful artwork on the walls. It's very welcoming and inviting. You know, homeless people can just come in and just get free housing, basically. That's how it's set up, because Karen Bass launched this project, was publicly speaking about it and praising it and saying how great it's going to be for 76 homeless people that are primarily seniors to be able to get housing that can't afford it. So $27.3 million later, and
a lot of drug users too steal a lot.
This is what we've got. This beautiful, beautiful housing facility. All right. So let's go over some more details here, because I've got a couple security guards watching me, and they want to arrest me as
maybe Heather, a home security system might be a plus.
soon as I step onto this property. So let's make it quick here. Taylor used fake bank statements and false representations from 2019 to 2025. All right. It was a multi-year scheme involving fraud loans and lines of credit, not from traditional banks, okay, allowing him to acquire without legitimate backing. In June of 2023, shortly after the city recommended it for home key funding, Stephen Taylor entered escrow, and that is when... Oh, dude, come on, bro. All right, dude, well, I'm trying to do my job.
Pushing them out of there. All right. Saren Gonzalez went after the H-1B visas.
I'm just wondering if you're not the business owner. No. Why did you post yourself as a business owner on the permit? Read it, Naveen. Read it. So we got a tip in our email inbox about a man here on an H-1B visa, supposed to be working some IT tech job, who is actually running a food truck company under his wife's name. Our tip said that this is like the basic...
You guys hang out again, Tammy?
H-1B, H-4 visa scam. The H-1B worker comes in, he brings his H-4 dependent, his wife. These dependents who are here on H-4 visas are getting employment authorization. So the wife typically is getting authorization to work, opening up a bunch of businesses, and then the husband secretly runs them, even though it is illegal. It is against the rules. H-1B visa workers are not allowed to work anywhere other than the place that is sponsoring them. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy, Naveen Tumala. He is here on an H-1B visa working for Flexera Global. And you might ask, how do you know he's here on an H-1B visa? Well, because he admitted it in a legal case, in a legal deposition. We requested deposition paperwork from a legal case We have him on the record admitting to being here on an H-1B visa. So this Naveen character, of course, as I said, runs this Golconda Express. This is a food truck that has several different locations in the DFW area. We also have people in the area who have scoped this place out. They have recorded him day in and day out, constantly working here around the clock, which, again, you're not supposed to do if you're here on an H-1B visa for a completely different company. He also, interestingly enough, is online on Instagram claiming that he's the master chef and making videos of himself being completely involved in the company.
Hi, Golconda customers. So we are getting so many calls. That's why we are closed today. Let's make pakodi.
They'll come here on our dime. They get government money, plus they're making money on top. They get rich.
We also know that he has, even though he's here on an H-1B visa, he has filled out permit paperwork listing himself as the business owner for Golconda.
Just make sure they're recording, Heather, in case anything does happen, so it's recorded and they can get caught.
Golconda Express. So we thought, hey, let's just show up to the food truck, give him a visit, and see what we can find out.
Oh. They got banned, huh? Probably from stealing.
Strange, he's taking orders. I thought he was just here for technical stuff.
You're the chef, right?
Pardon?
You're the chef, right?
No, I'm not the chef.
Oh.
Or
My wife owns this place and I help her to operate.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like after 4, I finish my job. They need some technical help setting up printers, so I came today.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Naveen. Hi, do you own this business?
No, my wife owns it.
Your wife owns it. Where's your wife?
She's at home.
She's at home? Well, what does she do for the business if you're working here and she's at home?
I'm not working here. I'm trying to help her set up something.
Well, I just watched you take someone's order.
What?
I just watched you take someone's order. I thought you were the master chef.
No, I'm not the master chef.
Well, why are you posting Instagram videos saying that you're the chef?
Yes, I'm a chef, but I don't work here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you post videos online that you do work here.
Golconda is all about consistency, quality, and affordability.
Aren't you here on an H-1B visa?
I didn't say I work here. I help my wife. You can go and check.
You're the master chef.
I'm not the master chef, but I know the recipes, so I guide them.
Okay, well, I just watched you take an order here. You're clearly working here. You're the one who's always
No, I'm
working
not
here.
working here.
We have you on video being the one to always work here. Why are you working here if you're here on an H-1B visa for a Flexera Global?
Yes, I'm off my duty, so I cannot help my wife or what? You think that
You're not supposed to work anywhere else.
I'm not working? Do you think I'm getting
I
paid
just
for it?
watched you work.
Do you think I'm getting paid for
I
it?
just watched you work.
No,
I just watched you work. It is against H-1B rules for you to be working here.
I know it. I know my rules. I know my rights. I'm
So-
not working here.
So where's your wife? How often does she come?
She comes every day here.
Really?
Yeah. but
Okay.
Whenever she needs to be here, she will be here.
Well, she's the one who owns the business.
Yes.
So why are you the one
So,
who's always here?
Do you think that all business owners are present in every location they own?
Well, I'm just wondering if you're
You
not
think
the
like
business owner.
Microsoft-
I'm just wondering if you're not the business owner. No. Why did you post yourself as a business owner on the permit?
I bet she's making a lot of money with HM1V.
Read it, Naveen. Read it.
What is it?
Applicant, Naveen Tumala.
Yes, I am the
Business name, Golconda Express. Business owner, Naveen Tumala. Right here. Your permit that you applied for
that's
shows
what I'm
you
saying.
as the
That's
owner.
That's all.
It shows you as the business owner.
I helped her filling up the application. What's wrong in it?
What do you mean what's wrong with it?
My wife or what?
No,
want me
you
to leave
can't.
My wife?
You can't be the business owner
I'm
here
not
on
the
an
business
H-1B
owner.
visa. You're the
Do
one
you
who's
know-
here.
do you-
You're the
do you
one
know-
who's
do you know
working.
which company
You're the
owns
one
this
who's here.
business?
You're
No,
the
no,
one
one
who's
second,
working.
1 second.
You're the one who's here every single
don't
day.
need to-
You're
you
the one
don't
who's
need to tell me
every single day,
anything,
and
okay?
you're signing permits
Do you-
as the business owner, and you're
I
telling
can
me you
help
have nothing to
my
do with the
wife
company.
In my off hours, that's my family. So do
You
think
just said you were here for tech stuff. Now you're taking orders. Now you're the master chef. I mean, you wear a lot of hats in this business.
I don't work here. Did you saw me making food here? Did you saw me making food here?
Listen, I'm just
No,
saying,
did
I
you
saw you taking orders.
Did you saw making
I saw you
seafood
taking
here?
orders, and we've
Yeah,
got
so what?
video of you
Okay, so what?
here
So what?
working. What do you mean,
Yeah,
so what?
Taking order is
You're
not
not supposed to
crime.
work somewhere else when you're
I'm
here
not
on an
working
H-1B
here.
visa.
You don't understand or what?
You're
I'm speaking
literally,
in English.
you're
You don't understand?
barely, you're
You can tell he's from India.
Don't
literally standing right here. I just have to ask, your workers, some of your workers are here on student visas. How many hours are they working?
Who told you that they are on student visas or anything?
What does it matter?
What does it matter?
Are you gonna confirm or deny?
You don't have any right to ask me about that.
Are you gonna confirm or deny?
I'm not.
I know for a fact.
And you
Arrest the whole family, Kirk. Arrest the whole family. They're all part of it.
can apologize to me.
I'm not apologizing to you for anything. You should apologize to me for scamming our system. You should apologize to me for scamming my system.
And he shouldn't even be here.
That's what you should apologize for.
I didn't scam your system.
Yes, you are. You're coming here. You're working every single day.
You
are working at this business. You're listing yourself as the business owner.
I don't work
as the business owner. You're calling yourself the master chef. You're over here. You're literally working here right now. I just watched you take orders. You are running this entire thing and pretending like it's your wife's business, and it's not. And do you know what? All of this is going straight to USCIS and the Department of Labor because Americans are tired of this. We are tired of you scamming our system. You're literally working here.
I have my IT job. I work there. I have my clients.
Yeah, I know.
And Marianne, you know, a lot of the scammers, welcome anyways, Marianne, and a lot of the scammers, a lot of them are told how to do this by the Democrats.
We're on to Flexera Global too. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're going to be turning all of this over to USCIS and the Department of Labor. I know it's fine. I don't need your permission. I'm an American.
Yes, you can budge into our properties, threaten us. You can do whatever you want. You think that's American thing or anything, but you guys do the same thing for everybody. Go and check your backyard first. Go.
I have no idea what he just said.
Go.
I have no idea what he just said.
And I'm Sarah, murder, Sarah, and junk.
I can't, what?
So we have people who are going to be here every single day. And every single day that you're here, we're documenting you.
I'm telling to you that you are illegally entering into my property and you need to leave now. You are inside my property. There is a sign
Home country
saying that trespassing is
Okay.
not allowed.
Okay.
And you still crossed. That's fine. You
Okay,
now
so
I'm saying you
actually,
leave.
that's fine. We'll leave. But on my way out, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, do you own this property or rent it?
I don't need to disclose you.
Okay, well, it's not your property then. All you do is scam. You're just a liar. You're just a liar. Guess what?
Okay.
TikTok, okay?
You are a liar too.
TikTok.
Don't fight.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Don't give business to a scammer.
That's for sure. I don't know. Oh, here's someone that lays it out.
One of the
pretty good.
key ways of holding blacks in slavery at low cost was to keep the people dependent as much as possible. Now, people try to do that
And that's why they're bringing in all these illegals, keep them
in
dependent.
other parts of the Western Hemisphere. The blacks, say in the West Indies, had all sorts of experience growing their own food, selling the surplus in the market, and in fact being responsible for budgeting what they had. Blacks in the United States were deliberately kept from having that. Dependence was seen as the key to holding the slaves down. It's ironic that same principle comes up in the
To keep them voting for the Democrats.
welfare state 100 years later. The politics really involves getting people to vote for you, and people vote for you when they think that they can depend on you, when they are dependent on you. To the extent that people become self-reliant and feel they're perfectly capable of taking care of themselves, to that extent do you lose your hold on their votes.
Unbelievable. All right, Laura Loomer, someone working for Laura Loomer, really. Watch the radical left getting off the buses for these No Kings days. Watch how everything's already there for them, all paid for, all the signs, everything. A lot of these are geriatric for patients, I tell you.
Hey, excuse me, could you not?
Yo,
please?
No, I'm allowed to. You guys are literally.
Yeah. We have kids though. We have kids though.
Why are you bringing kids to an anti-Trump protest?
Hey, it's May Day. Do you know what International Workers' Right is?
I know it's Socialist Day. So you guys are all coming on a bus to Washington D.C. to protest Trump. Can't draw an authentic crowd, and you're mad I busted you. Interesting.
All matching shirts and everything.
Well, I'm just gonna walk down the sidewalk.
You're a real fucking loser,
Dude, you guys are losers. You guys are astroturfing a crowd.
Well, this group wasn't geriatric, but a lot of them are real
I
old
just
people.
want to see you guys astroturfing a crowd. AstroTurf.
You ever notice how brand new these buses are all the time? It's unreal how brand new they all are. This guy dies. This next one, this video, it's heartbreaking. The father passes away for grief for his daughter after her getting harmed.
How many more? How many more do we need to see before people understand, especially people on the left, politicians, that this is the people in our country? These are the children.
And they can't. Socialism is slavery.
Children, the women that are being affected. How far does this have to go? And you put them ahead of our people, our citizens, in so many ways. But this right here is the worst way. And this is a thing that's happening. His father passed away out of grief, stress. He couldn't handle it after his daughter was raped by an illegal. And we just see this over and over again. And it's never enough. The count is never enough for you. When is it going to be enough? We're sick of it. We've had it. This isn't a left or a right thing. This is an American thing. This is standing up for the people of our country, for the children. Protect the children, protect the women, because they're not being protected. When is enough enough?
Well, I'm not sure which area this happened, but they were basically strapping suicide bombs onto these kids and having them walk over to the other troops. I think this happened in Iran, but I'm not positive. Here you go. They're strapping the bombs on, and so this soldier is very carefully removing the suicide bomb from the kid.
لا شو هذا ارفع يديك تعال لجي هذا عبارة عن حزام ناسف وضعوه جرذان داعش هذا جو وياكم؟ لا وحده بارك الله فيكم. نشكر القوات الأمنية والحشد الشعبي اللي اليوم وقف وقفة مشرفة، ونشكر العوائل النازحة اللي هم بلغوا على هذا الطفل لأنه غريب وماسك بطنه وشكوا بهذا الطفل مو خالي. فنشكر. لا حبيبي ما أسوي لك شيء، هاي مو عليك ابني، هاي لا هاي طق عليك ابني، تنفجر عليك. شوف وين وصلوا إلى هذه.
And Heather, they're using tons of these buses. I'll finish my texting in a second. Can you believe that on a little kid? They're that sick. All right, here's James O'Keefe. You probably have seen some of this before. The whole petition scam fundraiser login. Watch this. This is undercover. And so they're signing. They're giving them the names to sign the petitions with. They're telling them what names to use.
We caught the petition fraudsters on Skid Row in Los Angeles on video accessing an online database of registered voters.
This is the last name you're going to use. You're not going to use your name. I'm giving you a name to use, because you're going to use your first name.
And giving names of registered voters from that database to the homeless to impersonate those voters and sign petitions in other people's names.
He's in it. Yeah.
Committing felony election fraud and forgery, all for $3 apiece. We showed this footage to disenfranchised voters whose signatures were forged on the petition, and those voters say, throw the book at them.
Now I know not to sign any of those petitions anymore. Yeah, prosecute them, and I'll probably even worse if they've done worse.
Now, because you haven't registered, I need
once they get your signature, your name, or something like that, they use it.
to register you so I can get paid too. I'm paying you guys. I need to get paid. Come on.
Cam Higbee and I tracked down Brenda Brown to inform her that she's been committing federal felonies and election fraud.
You gave cash for a voter registration form. You know it's a federal crime, right? Who do you work for? Who's giving you the cash?
Join the good guys.
Join us. Be a hero. Blow the whistle on it, Brenda. I'm okay. Okay. Here you go.
We turn off all recording devices as requested and go inside.
I'll be right back.
And using the information she provided to us,
she might try to harm them.
We tracked down the people that hired Brenda Brown.
If we do something wrong out there, we should be prosecuted.
Tony Moore even mentioning the database.
Yeah, plus all the people above you.
They were using sigvalid.com.
There's a data app that they use too.
Sigvalid.com.
Sigvalid.
Okay, Heather.
You want me to tell you what the problem is?
What is it?
We catch people all the time doing fraud. The state does not prosecute. If there's no consequences
Geez, I wonder why Newsom wouldn't want that prosecuted.
to what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
When you have a petition drive, you should not be getting any money for it. It should be by people that want to do it, volunteers.
Over the past few weeks, my team and I have been undercover in Los Angeles, investigating an elaborate pyramid scheme involving election fraud, ballot fraud, unregistered petition circulators, identity theft, and signature forgery, all state and federal felonies. Well, today, we take you on another level. Deeper we go. We were able to record one of these fraudsters directly in the act of obtaining a false identity for a homeless person to use on the petition, but he obtained it using a mysterious online database. The fraudulent petitioner selects Los Angeles, enters a zip code 90501, and then a generic name, Chris. It is safe to assume that there is a Chris in every zip code, so these search parameters will give him multiple Chris's in the zip code 90501 that he can get this homeless person to pose as on his petition.
Okay, I'm doing here. Chris. First name. I know. Don't worry about it. I'm giving you a new name. This is the last name you're going to use. You're not going to use your name. I'm giving you a name to use because you don't use your first name. Okay, so the last name will be C.
So he's telling them what name to use.
S-T.
That's why you really can trust those mail-in voting, huh?
LLO. Address.
The fraudster reads off Chris Costello's address, which we are omitting from this report to protect that innocent person's privacy. You can see the URL of the website the fraudster is using, online.
Are you homemaking that, or are you buying it with that white pizza?
Sigvalid.com. My team attempted to access this site, but we were met with a login page, which begs the question, how did this individual get access to that website? More on that later.
And the zip code is going to be 90501.
The fraudster has now given the homeless person all the information he needs to sign the petition in Chris Costello's name. The homeless man will now forge Chris Costello's signature on the petition.
He's in it. Yeah.
The petition fraudster notifies his co-conspirator. The man has finished signing all of the petitions, and they proceed to pay him $3 is all it takes in exchange for election fraud, felonies, and forgery. We then went to the address that the fraudster read out from the website to speak to the current resident. His first name was not Chris, but his last name was Costello.
So I don't mean to alarm you. My name is Michael Casey. I'm with journalist at the O'Keefe Media Group. We're doing a story on fraudulent petition circulation going on. It's in Skid Row, and your name is actually being used by some fraudsters.
C-A-S-T.
Yeah, there's several states are still using the mail-in balloting, especially, Oregon. He can't win an election there.
Costello, he spells it out there. And then watch. That's your address, right?
Yeah,
so there he is on a database right there, pulling up your name and you torrents.
Yeah.
$2 cash.
Okay, so I'm not signing no more petitions from the store now. Now I know not to sign any of those petitions anymore.
So, you can confirm that that's your address, that's your name and everything, and they took it, but that was not you who signed it.
That is my address, my zip code, my city, where I live at. And ever since I've been registered to vote since 1996 until present, I've never been to Skid Row like you asked.
So do you believe, sir and ma'am, that these people should be prosecuted for this, for stealing people's identities and everything and sign this legally,
Yeah, prosecute them and I'll probably even worse if they've done worse.
Yeah, the governor is now saying he's going to investigate. The federal government's going to investigating it now too.
The old governor or the new one coming in?
you never know, right? So
that's why I said which one, because remember, he might be out of office by this next election.
I appreciate your time, sir. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Everybody, be careful what you sign.
Yep.
Because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too. I'm paying you guys, I need to get paid.
You may remember this woman, Brenda Brown, from our previous piece on the scheme. We went to her address to make her aware that we had recorded her in the act and that she was not only violating California election law, but also committing a federal felony.
We're in Brenda Brown's
apartment complex. That's the individual who paid cash for registration. That's a federal felony and we're at her door. Hey, Brenda Brown?
Yes, sir.
Hey, may I talk to you for a moment? How you doing? How you doing? James O'Keefe. No, this is the cash that you gave for registration form. It's a federal felony. It's a federal felony to give cash.
Oh, for them? So what's going on now?
This is you on tape.
So what's going on?
What's going on is that it's a federal crime. And the Department of Justice is looking into this because you gave cash for a voter registration form. You know it's a federal crime, right?
So what's going on? What's going on?
Well, what's going on is I'm a journalist and I published a video about it. That's you, right?
Ask you why you did it.
Why'd you do it? Who do you work for? Who's giving you the cash?
Join the good guys.
Join us. Be a hero. Blow the whistle on it, Brenda.
Come to our side.
Take it off? You could be a hero and tell the world who's giving you the cash. We want to work with you.
I'll talk to you, but I don't want to talk to them.
I'm okay.
But you come in, but not them.
Okay. Very good. I'll do that.
Come on. You got your thing right there.
Here you go. Just me, right?
Yeah, come on.
I'll be right back. Okay. Brenda Brown did not agree to speaking on the record, but she did surrender some very interesting documentation to us. Brenda handed us a stack of petitions which she had not submitted yet, and something immediately caught our attention. Under declaration of circulator, Brenda hadn't signed it herself. It was instead signed by a man named Stephen Nelson, along with his address. So we tracked down this Stephen Nelson to figure out why.
How do you know Brenda?
I just met her right outside my apartment. She was just going to the bus stop. And I said, why no way you make a little extra money doing signatures, but doing
a little extra? Sounds like a lot extra.
canvassing. So we started doing it. But what I didn't know, Chloe, is that she was going downtown Los Angeles around some of the homeless people and paying them.
Why are you signing all those blank petitions then?
Paying them to sign the petitions. I never went down there with her. I never knew she was doing that. And it's a little bit my fault because I was supposed to keep a tighter eye on her because I'm the one that signed off on the petitions. I immediately cut all ties with her.
As if he was collecting them all. He should be the only one going out getting signatures, not someone else if you're going to put your name on it.
They found out about the lady. He said he couldn't accept any more petitions from me.
Oh, I see.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the ones that you've done yourself.
No. Mrs. Brown, she did those, but see how it's not complete.
So these are all from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Stephen.
A lot of people say that the New York City piece is better because they had been until Mandami came in, been cooking it in a wood ovens. They cooked it with a wood heat and stuff like that. They claim that a little bit of a smoke flavor to it adds to the pizza.
Nelson claims that these petitions were filled out and delivered to him by Brenda Brown. Notice that the declaration of circulator has not yet been signed. This backs up what we noticed on the petitions that Brenda Brown surrendered to us, that Stephen Nelson was signing as the circulator, despite Brenda Brown doing the circulating. This is what Brenda Brown was referring to when she called it all a, quote, pyramid game.
So it's like a pyramid game. If I were to hire you, you would be under me. Yes, I'm under him and you under me.
Now, all of this is in violation of multiple California state laws, including Elections Code 104, which specifically refers to the declaration of the circulator and states, quote, each section of the petition or paper shall have attached
Maybe I should do a food
declaration
channel.
signed by the circulator of the petition on paper, setting forth in the circulator's own hand the following.
Oh, coal
the
fire,
circulator
that should
circulated
be
the
even
section
better.
and witnessed the appended signatures being written.
You would sign the bottom
Talk about a nice even heat, you know.
of them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know by signing, you're declaring that you observe these people signing? Do you know that you are declaring that you saw this person sign the petition?
I would say 80 or 90% of the time I did.
And did you know that she was also registering people to vote?
Well, when I told her not to do that But she would come back and have all those the registration forms that I kept on.
You want to call him a liar?
That's too much paperwork, and to make it easier for us not to do that, just get the
You know, they're using a lot of dependent, poor people to do this too. You know,
signatures. I never knew
they're
she was
using
doing
them.
that.
I see.
As soon as I did, I cut ties with her at Union Station, and I ain't talked to her since.
Another document that Brenda Brown gave us was a paycheck. The paycheck was from a company called One More Petition. It is primarily operated by Tony Moore, the man whose signature is on this check. On One More Petition's business profile, Tony Moore is listed as the only principal employee. So we caught up with him to get his opinion on Brenda's actions.
I wanted to ask you if you have seen the story that was published.
Which one?
About Brenda Brown, her right there?
No.
No, because she worked for you. Didn't she work for you before? Because I have a copy of a check when you paid her. Brenda,
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. She
Yes.
still works for you though, right?
She did. She hasn't turned in a long time.
Because, you know, Brenda was paying in Skid Row. There's a video.
Yeah, I know. That's why we don't deal with her anymore.
Because you found out that she was paying cash?
Can't say that.
Okay.
I can't say anything about that.
Because she was paying $2 to $3 to...
and that is illegal, and she should be fined, and she should be sent to jail.
Oh, I'd love to catch that guy on camera paying off these people and telling them what to do and all that kind of stuff, instructions wise.
That's my opinion on it.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
If we do something wrong out there, we should be prosecuted.
The journalist then questions Mr.
Get ready, wear some handcuffs then.
Moore on whether he is aware that the petitioners are not just paying the homeless to sign, but also providing them with fraudulent names and addresses of registered voters, and asks where they might be getting that information.
Some people will go to the roll, actually go down to one of the cities and get the registers roll. Okay, I've
It's
seen
a data app that they use too. That
Yeah.
seems to be extracted from the DMV.
Correct, and that we use that all the time.
You use it?
Oh yes.
For what reason?
To check to see if they're registered to vote.
To vote. And what is that app called? What is that?
Mattress cover.
SigValid.com.
Somehow the bedroom.
SigValid.com.
You heard right. Tony Moore names SigValid.com. The same SigValid.com that we caught fraudulent petitioners using to find registered voter names and addresses and then giving them to the unregistered homeless so that they can forge their signatures. Tony Moore goes on to claim that SigValid is open and accessible to the public, which we already know is not true.
And who provides you guys that log in?
It's open to anybody.
I've tried to get on it, but I am not able to.
Yeah, SigValid.
John, did the wife or girlfriend or whatever do that?
.com. It's open to everybody.
It's interesting because you need a username and a password. I don't have that.
Well, now you need a username and password to get onto our databases.
There were captures on video of them using that particular app.
Sure,
but
everybody uses
but they're needing a username and a password.
That sounds too hot there.
I don't. Nobody else does.
Hot? I thought you wanted to cook it slow.
Tony Moore goes on to claim
the grill.
these petition circulating companies catch their employees committing fraud, quote, all the time, but the state never prosecutes.
I'm very glad if Brenda is doing something wrong.
It's not just Brenda, Mr. Moore.
I understand that, but I'm saying
there's hundreds of others
you
on
want me to
Skid
tell you
Row
what
and
the problem,
everywhere.
You want me to tell you what the problem is?
What is it?
We catch people all the time doing fraud. The state does not prosecute. So why should these people care? If the state isn't going to come through and prosecute these people.
Because they want it to happen.
If there's no consequences,
they got to go up the ladder and start asking the people that are supposed to be doing the prosecuting.
That's why the consequences that we find, when we find something, we put them on the no-buy list, and they can't.
You can't tell me he's not getting money to get all these petitions and all that kind of stuff. So someone's paying him.
Do petitions in California anymore. They can go to other states and do it. If there's no consequences to what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
Especially now, paying in providing the homeless person a registered voter's name and address.
And that is against the law.
Yes, it is a felony.
It is a felony. But if nothing happens with it.
Now, we happen to agree with Tony Moore's closing statement here. If there are no consequences or disincentives,
a little bit of olive
then
oil, I think.
nothing really matters. If there are no consequences, then why do we even have these laws? Or do we even live in a nation of laws? Nobody has been arrested yet. I've promised you that arrests would be coming because these crimes are so egregious and so non-circumstantial. It's directly on tape.
more than two
It's
then, huh?
incontrovertible.
Either one or the other, but
There
for us,
must
we have
be
two.
arrests. Otherwise, we are entering a post-constitutional republic and, frankly, entering a constitutional crisis.
Deep
There were
breathing.
police officers who visited
Good one,
my
Marianne.
headquarters yesterday to give me some type of papers to hold me accountable, but we need to see the people who've committed the crimes and committed the fraud, felonies, misdemeanors, federal felonies.
Yeah, I
They
blame
need
the
to
other
face
guy.
accountability. And if you've witnessed fraud like this, whether it's on Skid Row or deep inside the government, if you have information, please reach out to us, especially since the Treasury Secretary has announced an incentive for whistleblowers. Perhaps this is the only path forward to make this type of investigative reporting sustainable. That's tips at o'keefemediagroup.com.
I hear he's now working with the government to try to take him down. Problem is that this whole process always takes so dang long. All right, you got to hear about this bill that's going on in California here.
All right, California families, a new bill has dropped, SB 1377. Now, this is authored by Republican Senator Brian Jones, and this brings California back to robust medical exemptions, basically doing away with SB 276 that created California as a state that has no functional exemptions for children K through 12, public and private school to be exempt from vaccines. Now, back in 2015, SB 277 was introduced and passed by Senator Richard Pan. Now, this did away with religious and philosophical exemptions and put in place medical exemptions only. Now, in this bill, there were a couple things that was going on. Originally, this bill was going to impact homeschoolers, everybody. It was a comply or move. Thankfully, there were amazing advocates like my partner Tara Thornton and Freedom Angels who worked with legislators to put in place carve-outs for homeschool kids, carve-out for children on IEPs, and the ability for doctors to have the discretion to give medical exemptions. And then in 2019, everything changed with SB 276. This law now attacks doctors who take care of vaccine-injured children, flagging their medical license.
Bobby, written by the med companies.
Since should they write just one exemption, and their limit was 5. Now, they went after doctors who did write these exemptions. Every doctor that I know that took care of vaccine-injured children had to leave the state. And now this bill is going to take us back to SB 277, allowing doctors at their discretion to write these exemptions and removing the bureaucrats like public health from making the decisions for our children. With SB 276, it really did away with
You shouldn't really even need an exemption. A parent should be able to say, no, I don't want him to get this jab.
Doctor-patient confidentiality and relationships. And, you know, it's really almost impossible to get an exemption here in California. They changed the way children qualify. Before, it would be a child would qualify if they had previous reactions to these shots, or if they had family history of reactions, or if they had certain types of medical conditions. Now the qualifications land on 3 things: encephalitis, coma, or anaphylactic shock. Now, if that happens to your child, then they're exempt from that one shot. They are not exempt from the entire program. Now, personally, I do not believe in exemptions, but that's just where we're at. This is the terrain that we have, and we have to get to where we need to be little by little. Now, Gavin Newsom already knows that there has been major headway in bringing back religious and philosophical exemptions on a national level. That's why he created his own vaccine panel last legislative session. This panel rejects all recommendations from the federal government.
Yeah, last week I played a video on that, Heather. They are joining the WHO. World Economic Health. I don't even know how a state can do that.
And right now, what it looks like is that Gavin Newsom is trying to create
I would too.
the own California's own program. We know that
here in New York, it's pretty hard to not take the jab. They're force it on you pretty much.
Because there's another bill, AB 2651, that is going to change the way the thresholds are accounted for in public schools. Now, the entire language is not out yet for this bill. You can check it on Legiscan. You can just punch in SB 1377, and you can do California CA 2026, and Legiscan, it'll show you what the bill is. But this is where you need to get ready to start activating. Tara and I are very effective at the work that we do. We'll be in Sacramento very soon. And this is where we're going to need you to call your friends to join us in our district to capital networks. This is how we have been very successful at defeating and passing bills through. So what you can do right now is first know who your state senators and your state assembly members are. You're going to have to call. We're going to have a call to action once everything starts taking place. Now, if you've never contacted them before and you don't know who they are, you can go to findyourrep.legislature.ca.gov. It'll ask you to put in your address and it'll show you who your representatives are. And once this bill starts hitting committees, we're going to have a graphic to show who are the people to call. And most likely, we're going to need you guys to show up in the district. So you can go to our website, freedom-angels.org. You can sign up for alerts. We're going to be sending out calls to action very, very soon. And
I'll go on to the next one. This is about immigration, America, all of that, remigration. There's like Japan starting to send people back out that come in and become citizens that shouldn't be there.
Remigration saves lives, and the past years have very clearly proven this to be a fact. But do you know who popularized the term remigration in the past 10 years? Because surprisingly, it's actually not an American, even though remigration is booming in America right now. In fact, it's the Austrian patriot and a very good friend of mine. No, not the Austrian painter, not Hitler, but rather a free speech pioneer, which actually puts him in the opposite camp from Hitler, Martin Sellner, who also wrote an entire book about remigration, or rather remigration, because we use the exact same word in the German-speaking sphere. But in Europe, particularly in Germany, remigration is a shunned and demonized term, because we were taught to put our guilt over self-preservation. We were taught to hate ourselves more than to love our neighbors. And that's why we have decided to break that curse and instead reclaim remigration. While the United States are literally making it their policy, we in Germany are essentially being told that the victims of mass migration, all the migrant crimes that are being committed at a disproportionately high rate,
Sam, which one of you do you trust? Which one of those six?
They are just collateral damage. We owe this to our raped women and girls, our killed citizens, and our vulnerable Christian population at risk of being massacred by Islamists. Day in, day out, the German people live in fear, and we owe it to them that we do not fear the word remigration and that we fight to protect our people. The AfD candidate Ulrich Siegmund said it right. Remigration is a very good word. If you agree with that statement, then join us in posting a selfie with the beautiful word remigration. That's it. One powerful word to go viral on social media. This epic campaign was started by the German alternative media outlet Deutschlandkurier, with the eagle logo representing patriotism and courage, which is exactly what not just Germany needs right now, but Europe and America as well. That's why we want to use this opportunity to be united in the word remigration internationally. Thank you so much for your participation.
Oh, we need
remigration is the answer.
Now, in the EU, they voted to start remigrating people out of Europe, but England's not on board, and a few of the other countries. It's going to be really hard to implement because they still are bringing people in real bad. There's some body cam footage of in Wisconsin here. Watch this.
In Wisconsin.
Oh, I forgot to tell you what it is. This cop did a stop, and the guy rolls up his window, catching the cop's arm in there, and starts driving down the road.
In Wisconsin, a Milwaukee police officer clings to a moving truck as body and dash cameras roll. The video, at times blurred by police, shows the officer drawing his weapon, his frantic partner following after watching them take off.
My partner's on the side of a flatbed. He's going about 30 miles an hour.
It all started the morning of March 12th. Watch as an officer approaches the white flatbed, looking, investigators say, for 35-year-old Jonathan Otto.
He's in the back.
There goes the window up.
Otto takes off, a woman riding in the passenger seat. Wisconsin's Department of Corrections saying he'd missed multiple parole appointments stemming from a prior charge of fleeing or eluding an officer.
Boy, he seems nice.
When they learned of assault and strangulation allegations against him. The officer hangs on for roughly 2 minutes, warning he'll shoot. Suddenly, you hear him
if he shoots him, though, the libtards will have a fit.
Say,
"Are you done?"
Then he fires the fatal shot. Otto was killed. His family outraged.
I feel like he executed my son. I mean, yes, he was
executed. He could have killed the cop by towing him down the road.
He was fleeing, but absolutely there was no reason to shoot him.
No reason? God, she's pretty idiot. Here's liberal boomers. Well, I'll just play it.
Did you see Mark Carney's announcement today? $3.8 billion for a new nature strategy. It sounds like a win for the environment, right? But if you own land in Canada, you need to look at the fine print, because this isn't just about the trees. It's about the legal end of private property as we know it. The goal is called 30 by 30, protecting 30% of Canada by 2030. But the part that they're not telling you is that the federal government only owns about 6% of Canada's landmass. Even if they protected every inch that they own, they aren't even close to that 30% target. Independent reports are clear. Canada cannot meet those targets without your land. That is why we're seeing such a sudden push for opt-out models. They need your private property to make the math work for the UN, and they're using $3.8 billion of your tax dollars to ensure that they get it.
The first 10
You might
seconds,
think that you can just say no, but in Canada, property rights are not even in our charter. They're using something called de facto expropriation. From recent court rulings in BC to the St. John's versus Lynch case, the precedent is being set.
I wonder who ends up with all that land, huh?
The state can override your land title, freeze your property for conservation, and pay you pennies on the dollar because they technically didn't take the deed. It gets even deeper. Under UN Target 22, they're recategorizing land as indigenous-led. But look at the 2017 China strategy. It's a roadmap for foreign state-owned enterprises to negotiate directly for our resources while you are locked out for well-being. It's a geopolitical backdoor that bypasses Canadian sovereignty entirely. They tell us we'll own nothing and be happy because we have access to perks. But access isn't ownership. You pay the taxes, they keep the control. I've spent all day digging through the court cases and the legislative small print that the mainstream media is ignoring. And if you want to read my full unfiltered report, the link to my Substack is in my bio. And as always, I want to know what you think.
Yeah, Canada's getting even worse. They're desperate to get you off your land and take it all. They want you to own nothing and they'll be happy, I tell you. All right, this is about the hospice fraud in California. It's failing the taxpayers big time.
Dozens of companies linked to a single address, phony businesses, disconnected phone lines, stolen Medicare numbers, and taxpayers left holding the bill.
I don't care what your political affiliation is. You should be
some of them, they keep billing even after you die.
upset. Why Gavin Newsom let it happen is somewhat irrelevant at this point because it happened and now he has to fix it. We're not talking about a few $100s. We're not even talking about a few $100,000. We're talking about billions of dollars.
All right, welcome to a new hour of
Wonder where all that money goes. Oh yeah, back into their campaigns.
America Reports on this Tuesday afternoon.
It's so
Sam
hard to
Smith
beat
in
him.
New York, and Benjamin, is great to have you here today.
Great pleasure to be here. Busy day as well. I'm Benjamin Hall, and I'm in for John Roberts today. Governor Gavin Newsom says he is cracking down, shutting down hundreds of hospice licenses. But the numbers are stunning. Los Angeles County still has more hospice agencies than New York and Florida combined, and the state just missed a key deadline to tighten oversight.
First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley has been sounding the alarm about California's healthcare system. He joins us live in moments.
But first, senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse reports live in Los Angeles. Hi, William.
Well, Ben, there are two stories here. What California is or is not doing about hospice fraud. And the other is kind of a criminal underworld where patients are not sick or don't exist, where providers, they have an address for mail and for phone rings, but there's no one actually in the office. And there's no one out providing the quality of care that people expect and taxpayers pay for.
Any at all.
This is what the building looks like that supposedly houses 197 different hospice and healthcare companies.
That's California lawmaker Ali Macedo investigating suspected hospice fraud in LA.
I did not see a single person coming in or out of the building.
Neither did we in January.
Lots of offices, but no people.
3 floors, no employees or patients. Yet look at the dozens of providers licensed at this one address. 5 years ago, state auditors flagged this location for potential fraud. They say they found non-working phones, locked doors, and stolen Medicare numbers.
In LA County, California, 89 hospice companies are registered to a single address.
Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill say California's weak oversight helped perpetuate fraud, a charge Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom denies.
We've been very aggressive as it relates to going after the fraud and abuse.
He also says hospice fraud involving Medicare falls under federal jurisdiction. That's misleading. State law says California is responsible for licensing, inspecting, and investigating hospice complaints and can deny, suspend, or revoke licenses.
Huge. This problem is on his hands, and
it would take at least 3 presidents 12 years to get rid of this.
He's refusing to put in rules and regulations.
That lawmakers,
but you got to start somewhere.
Mandated take effect by January this year, including better background checks, a ban on multiple hospices sharing a single office, more comprehensive on-site inspections, and face-to-face meetings before awarding a license. We asked Newsom why his administration missed the deadline.
We've eliminated over 280 licenses. We've been on this since late 2021.
That's probably about 1% of all the ones you have to do. 280 when they got thousands of them within a couple miles.
But auditors say the explosion of hospice licenses came after Governor Newsom was elected in 2018. And here's what doesn't make sense, Ben. So today, LA County
I'm sure you had another Democrat beforehand.
Still has 1,900 hospices, according to the feds. San Francisco has 7. Nationwide, LA has up to a third of all hospice and home health care providers, but just 3% are seniors. And in one area, Ben, half the patients admitted as terminally ill are discharged alive.
Gosh.
Back to you.
Excellent work, William. Thanks for bringing
Only 3% of all the seniors in the country.
that to us. Fascinating. William Lejeunesse in LA for us.
I guarantee you some other states are going through it. All right, I'm going to do a little humor next. Here we go.
I have voted for Trump like 1,000 times. Okay, and this is just so not what I voted for. Oh, it's not what you voted for. Okay. Do you realize that Trump has achieved a negative net migration? That's the first time that's happened in 50 years. 50 years. 2.6 million illegal immigrants have been deported or voluntarily left since he's taken office. More than 400,000 illegal immigrants with criminal charges or convictions have been removed. He's permanently ended catch and release. He's cut fentanyl trafficking at the southern border by close to 56%. We've had the largest one-year decline in homicides ever in the history of our country. Drug cartels have finally been designated as foreign terrorist organizations. Trillions in investments have been secured domestically. The tax cuts from 2017 have been extended. Stock market has hit multiple highs. Tariffs are protecting U.S. industries. The cost of prescription drug prices has lowered. Billions of fraudulent payments and waste have been identified and recovered because of the implementation of DOJ. Nicolas Maduro has been ousted from Venezuela, which is good for Venezuela. And we could see the same thing happen with Cuba. An executive order.
Dan, I would say close down all the programs. Close them all down. Start over. Start over from scratch.
Was signed to keep men out of women's sports. Another executive order signed banning DEI policies in federal agencies. A freeze on any new government regulations has been implemented. Young families don't have to compete with Wall Street now to buy a home. Multiple actions and frameworks have been put in place to declare parents as the primary decision makers in their child's education. And another executive order was signed to end radical indoctrination in our schools. They flipped the food pyramid around so that America can actually be healthy again.
Don't worry, the left will fight those in the court.
Oh, okay, okay. What I mean is like this whole Iran situation. They have been saying that they're going to get a nuke for like forever, okay? And it's not happened. So we don't need to do anything. We need to like focus on America, okay? So you would just prefer that we wait until they have a nuclear weapon before we do anything? Okay.
All right. Next, I got Katie Hopkins about Australia.
Breaking news here in batshit bonkers Britain. Over in Australia, Anthony Albanese called a nationwide address at 7 p.m. He said the Australian nation is going to go through a period of extreme hardship, which feels a bit like energy lockdowns as
Electricity, that's the same thing that's happening in New York now.
many of us predicted a seamless move from COVID lockdowns to energy lockdowns. He talked about rationing. He talked about people having to give up driving their cars or drive at slower speeds. I mean, I'm excited for ration books. I'm sure they'll come along with a digital ID. Maybe I can even get a booster as well. In other news, Artemis 2 launches off into space. And for a brief moment in time, everybody was looking to the skies, and I think that can only be a good thing. And finally, Labour MP Joanne Reid, her husband was recently arrested for being a Chinese spy, and now it turns out she's been doing the deep dive with not one nuclear submarine captain, but two. What are the odds that the wife of an alleged Chinese spy has had interesting relations with not one but two of our nuclear sub-captains? Either way, Joni Reid is not a stranger to a submariner's periscope, and I'm sure the Chinese have all the information they require on our super secret nuclear program. What could possibly go wrong? That's it, my darlings. Look to the skies. Batshit bonkers Britain.
I wonder why she does them that way. It's pretty funny. Okay, I got a couple little short ones, but everyone knows what's going on with what they're doing to Christians in Nigeria. I got one from Nigeria, but I also have this other one. The second one's going to be from Bangladesh. They're going after Christians, killing them, trashing their places. Oh, you wouldn't believe what they're doing to them. All right, now here's this lady with a knife, a big machete, trying to defend her home and her little kid against all these Muslims. And this is in Bangladesh. Look at all the rocks. Look at all the rocks they're throwing at her. It's an island nation, huh? I forget which nation How was that one little lady supposed to take them all on? They're doing this because she's Christian. That's why I'm bringing it up. Look at all those people standing around, even if they're not participating, how come they're not stopping it? There goes the home. They'll attack her too, and her kid. They were trying to. Now they're stealing all her stuff too. They're stealing her stuff. They get a lot of rain there too. Yeah, machine gun would be a good idea. Problem is, they'd probably end up being the ones controlling the machine guns. Unbelievable. All right, this is about the No Kings rally and stuff like that.
This is a testimony from someone who was held in Islamic Republic's detention center for...
Oh, okay. She was telling the ones who, the No Kings thing, she's saying what the difference is between, say, you're a person in Iran and there. Popey, there, I did a video from Goldie, and she was talking about him. He had been captured. It turns out that they were able to kill the cops there, or RAGC. There's Iran people are starting to rise up, and they got him free. He's been tortured, and he's real bad. He's kind of hospitalized, but not in the regular hospital because they'll come get him. They're taking care of him, but he's been severely injured by being tortured. But he's still alive. For that one that they was talking about, they thought he'd be dead, and they took down his account. For those who remember.
25 days. What they've shared and described is extremely painful to hear, but it is the reality of Islamic Republic, and we must not ignore. I'm going to read it now. For 25 days, I don't know where they took us. During those 25 days, I did not see sunlight. Every 3 to 4 days, they would take us outside, beat us, and break one of someone's fingers. I was interrogated 4 times. 3 of those times involved beatings.
Yeah, I know.
They struck me from behind with an iron club, hitting my face so
Where's the media, too?
hard that several of my teeth were shattered inside my mouth. My mouth was filled with blood. I was threatened that they would pull out all of my teeth with pliers. They forced me to swallow the teeth that had broken in my mouth. I had a wound on my head, exactly where the wound was. They would cut it with a knife. They pulled out my hair. The interrogator laughed while pulling out my hair. While blindfolded, they forced me to sign things.
They did a lot of this to that guy, too, Goldie's friend.
That I have no idea what they were. They stood next to me with a gun. People. They forced me in a mocking tone to record voice messages to the families of several people who had been killed, saying, "I killed your child." Every 2 or 3 days, they gave us food and water. Once after 3 days without water, when I asked for water, 3 of them held my jaw and poured boiling water in my mouth. For food, they would throw 2 pieces of bread in front of 8 people, and we had to divide that between ourselves. They tied me to a metal pole. They poured something like alcohol on my back and whipped me. The alcohol they had poured caused my skin to burn completely. Another time, they blindfolded me again. They tied my hands and feet and placed me on a chair. They had tied children. Based on their voices, it was clear how young they were, to poles and were whipping them. They forced me to listen to the sounds of their torture, and that was the worst torture. One night when it was very cold and snowing, they stripped us naked and left us.
Maybe true, Tammy, but I also don't want them to keep sending terrorists and raising up terrorists. That's the thing. the biggest thing, I want them to stop funding the 90% of the terrorists are funded by them.
Outside from 8 p.m. until 7 a.m. with our hands and feet tied and blindfolded.
And I do have friends from there and in Kurdistan.
If we sat down, they would start beating us. They repeated this for 2 consecutive days. They beat my rib cage so hard with a baton that my ribs cracked.
Yeah, I would kick the illegals out of America. Problem is, did you see that the ARC, whatever, the Islamic regime went into Canada and assassinated someone yesterday or last night?
They pushed pencils halfway into our ears until blood came out. One person's eardrum was completely ruptured. They forced us to wear shoes with nails sticking out from the bottom and made us walk across the hallway with those sandals. The floor would fill with blood. After 25 days, they left us blindfolded in the middle of nowhere, 20 kilometers outside of the city. This is the reality of Islamic Republic.
The thing is, a lot of them are being killed right now. They're little by little, they're getting killed themselves. All right, here's James Carville. Watch him. He goes off. Watch him threatening us, we the people, when they get back in power. Watch this.
Listen to me, Trump. I'm going to tell you fat fucking ass something. You're getting ready to get the living crap kicked out of you. You don't know because they haven't really told you. And let me tell you something. They're gonna start breaking the news to you kind of gently, and you're going to sit there and wonder what it feels like to be punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. But you won't know, because it's quite one thing to imagine what it's like to get punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. It's another thing to actually get punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. And that's what's going to happen to you in November. Now, let's talk about your future, your post-November future. First, people are not going to return your phone calls. They're going to correctly think you yesterday. Yeah, they'll say, well, he's got 2 years left. He can do damage. No one gives a shit about him. The Democrats are going to investigate you to no end. I would like to introduce you to Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, D. Rhode Island, because it is a lot of people's view. By the way, and Congressman Jeffers and Senator Schumer, they're going to go down to the White House on November 10th, and then you're going to have some stiff photo of them sitting there talking about collegiality and cooperation. Believe that bullshit. Then they're going to start going after you. Then they're going to start figuring out where all the money stolen is. Then they're going to go after you stupid jackass kids and their spouses and all the other bullshit that you see. And they're going to investigate the shit out of you.
This guy needs help, doesn't he?
And then when it comes to this stuff you're doing in Iran, I got to tell you, you're getting really, really, really close to war crimes here. You're probably going to cross the line.
Here's a
and the one thing that Democrats are going to insist on in the 2028 election is that if you're indicted by the international courts, and I think it's in The Hague or Hague or somewhere in the Netherlands, we're going to protect your ass. Not going to protect you.
Don't worry.
Understand that.
They got the same plans for us. They absolutely do. I see some of the stuff that they put in that blue sky and stuff like that. Their plans are to round us up and come after us. That's what they plan to do. I don't know that. I don't know what everyone thinks about that, but anyways, here's my friend Miss Jackson. She ran for office. She didn't win the primary, but definitely was a good candidate. This was in Texas. She's talking about the vote in Virginia. What's going on with that? They're trying to change the districts so they win 10 out of 11 districts.
All right, Virginia, again, y'all have a special election. I hate this freaking chair. I hate it. All right, Virginia, again, y'all have a special election coming up. Now, I don't live in Virginia. I'm not registered to vote there, so I can't see what's on your ballot, but someone sent me the constitutional amendment that they're proposing. And it is and I mean extremely misleading. Now, it was misleading in the ads from the Democrats, but I kind of expect that from them. But to actually have it on the ballot, phrased in this way, like the map that they're proposing is actually fair, is insane. Question: should the Constitution of Virginia be amended to allow the General Assembly to temporarily adopt new congressional districts to restore fairness in the upcoming elections while ensuring Virginia's standard redistricting process resumes for all future redistricting after 2030, after the 2030 census? So basically what they're saying it's temporary, and then we're going to go back to what we usually do in 2030. Now they're framing this as if the maps that they're proposing is genuinely fair. Have you guys seen the maps? It's 10-1. You could Google it. I'm not going to show you on this video. It's 10-1. That's
yeah, he's a disgrace in Louisiana.
And he's mental, things like this is why I really stopped arguing with y'all. One, it can never be two fools with me, so I have to stop
syphilis, huh?
This
he's getting up there in years.
Child of God says is not a rigged map. Just maybe, crazy thought here.
Sounds like some
conservative policies haven't helped.
Are you picking at something, Heather?
Person and or are extremely unpopular. I said, so 10-1 is even. Okay.
John, he's gone off the way deep end. Way off.
God bless you. Anyway, Virginia on the 21st, assuming that you don't vote early, vote no.
All right, this woman used to be a Democrat. Listen to her now.
I spent my entire life as a Democrat, and the way I feel right now, I will never vote for a Democrat ever again in my life. Honestly, I stayed loyal to the Democrat Party way longer than I probably should have. I mean, I voted for Obama in 2012. I was a Bernie babe in 2016. In 2020, I voted independent because I was starting to get fed up with the Democrat Party. And during the 2024 election is when I really realized that a lot of the things that the Democrats were saying either didn't make any sense or were completely opposite of what we had been saying for the past 4 years. And I honestly just cannot see myself supporting a party that doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, for instance, we spent the last 4 years telling people that it was privileged to care about gas prices when people were dying overseas, that the president doesn't control the gas prices. And now you guys are saying the direct opposite of all of that. You guys are simultaneously making the argument that borders don't matter and that we should be ashamed because we stole the land from the Native Americans. If a mass migration of 25 million Americans into this country over the past 4 years is not a problem to you, then the fact that we migrated here all those years ago should also not be a problem. It's like, pick a side of the argument. You can't be on both sides. Is mass migration a good or a bad thing? And you say that voter ID laws are not necessary because it's already in the Constitution that you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. But if that's the case, then why did we need DEI if we already had affirmative action? You say that no one should be able to tell you that you can't get steak and lobster and soft drinks and junk food on your EBT, but you're mad that the military is getting steak and lobster? And mind you, they were fed this steak and lobster before they went overseas to fight for the liberation of the oppressed peoples that you all claim to care about so much. Now, I'm not really like one way or the other on the whole pronoun thing. I don't really think it's that big of a deal to call trans people by the correct pronouns, but y'all can't keep saying that consent matters, and then when a grown man in a dress...
Yeah, I'm not going to call him by a woman's name when it's a dude.
With zero evidence of actually being trans wants to be called she, her, and we say no, suddenly our consent doesn't matter. Because actual real trans people who suffer from gender dysphoria are being further ostracized from society because of the people that are taking advantage of their situation. And allowing people to cosplay as being trans because they want the validation that comes from being in a marginalized community is actually...
A lot of them are pedophiles and groomers.
Very harmful to the people who actually suffer with this. Or for instance, this is a good one. You guys...
Then they need mental help if they suffer from
will literally sit there and say that abortion is necessary in the case of a minor getting pregnant because they shouldn't have to have life-altering changes made to their body. And then you'll turn around and say that trans surgeries are necessary because they are able to make life-altering changes to their body. Whatever happened to the simple phrase, children can't consent? Okay, it should apply across the board.
Amen.
And not only that, but when it comes to these transgender surgeries on minors, you guys are perfectly okay with the government overriding parental consent and then have the audacity to say that it's the Republicans that are the ones that are infringing on people's rights. You guys are actually, I guess, unknowingly running with a narrative that implies that the government knows better about your child than you do. You guys will constantly get on here and bitch about how the government is corrupt and can't be trusted, and then you'll turn around and try to convince us that the best scenario is for the government to take control over the things that we need in our life. Our government being in bed with big pharma, with big food, with big agriculture, with all of these corporations is the reason why we as citizens are being taken advantage of, and yet your idea is to give them even more control over our lives. I mean, I was all in on you guys, okay? I was buying all of the free Palestine stuff. I was buying the little bows that had the money going to the people in Gaza, okay? You had us buying this stuff not knowing that this was a symbol of oppression. You had us thinking that we were being tolerant. Yeah, this stuff wasn't tolerance, okay? It wasn't inclusion. It wasn't acceptance. It was literal funding of terrorism. And yep, you conned us into it, okay? I'll admit it. But you're not going to con me anymore, because now I know what it's like to have a president that actually stands on his word and does what he
still has the nose ring,
says he's going to do. I thought I had that with Obama. I was hoping to have it with Bernie. I definitely thought I had it with RFK Jr.
Bernie was a definite socialist.
So him partnering with Trump was probably the best case scenario for me. And the fact that Trump himself called RFK Jr. and asked him to partner with him the day after he was shot proved to me that this is a changed person. This is somebody who actually wants to leave a legacy, that actually wants to mean something when they leave the Oval Office. So yeah, while I may
or a better America
not be a full-on Republican or anything, I am no longer a Democrat. Ever. Okay? I'm definitely MAGA. I'm definitely Maha, but I am never, ever identifying as a Democrat ever again.
Okay, here's the most corrupt scam in American history.
Something else people don't know is that started in the mid-1980s, there was a judge, a federal district court judge in New Jersey, who entered a consent decree that Republicans could not be poll watchers. So from
Actually, I'm seeing a lot waking up there, Dan.
80s until 2020.
If we get the SAFE Act, it'll help with the elections being closer to real ones.
Republicans were not allowed to be poll watchers on these national elections. And what happened was that judge eventually died, and the Democrats, the DNC, they had to go get that injunction renewed every 5 or 8 years, something along those lines. And when that judge died, he was replaced by an Obama judge. And they went back to that judge and they said, we want this consent decree in place, making it so Republicans cannot be poll watchers and cannot be a part of this process. And he said, what in the heck are you talking about? This is absolutely so unconstitutional. And he refused to renew that consent decree. He refused to renew that injunction. So 2020 was one of the first years that we had professional Republican poll watchers in these elections to see what was going on in Atlanta, in Detroit, in Milwaukee, in Philadelphia. It was the first time we were able to really see what was going on in these polling places. And what that tells me is that probably a lot of these shenanigans had been going on for a long, long time, but there were no Republicans there to report on it.
Yeah, we've got to be the reporters now. Now, here's the true story of what actually happened in the Utah ICE incident where they broke the window and all this and that. The left was all upset about it. Watch the actual total details on this thing in Utah that happened.
Thanks for watching 2 News at 6 tonight. After a video went viral on X showing an ICE agent breaking the window of a car in Weber County to arrest the man inside, we've now asked some questions of the Utah Highway Patrol, which initiated that original traffic stop, about the situation and then why it escalated.
Yeah, Natalie Watt is live in Weber County for us. Natalie, you had a chance to talk to UHP. What did they tell you about the incident?
Well, UHP tells me that car was seen speeding near this stretch of I-15 in Weber County here behind me going 90. When they didn't have ID, they called in ICE.
Charles, you were a poll watcher once? I was wondering what it's like to be that. So, spam call looks like.
In video posted on X,
No puedes quebrarlo. No puedes.
an ICE agent identified as such by UHP threatens to break the window to get into the car, pulled over for speeding on I-15 in Weber County.
You have 1 minute.
Utah Highway Patrol Major Chamberlain Neff tells me during the traffic stop, they encountered 3 people in the car, none of whom could produce any driver's licenses or ID.
The driver produced a photo ID on a cell phone, and that photo ID, I believe, was a Mexican ID, didn't have any type of driver's license. And so when that identification was showed, it showed a federal detainer. And that's when that trooper called in ICE.
According to UHP, 2 of the men in the car had active ICE detainers. Federal ICE agents, along with a Weber County Sheriff's Office deputy, showed up.
Right,
when they did show up on scene, the front passenger.
I got you, Charles. I thought you meant really polls like voting, because that's what I was talking about bull watching. I've never been to a strip club in my life, so.
It got out, fled on foot, and when they fled on foot, a trooper and one of the other federal agents actually took off on foot to pursue up after them.
UHP says at the same time, the
that hobby's expensive, isn't it, Charles?
Driver refused to get out of the car.
That's when you see on the social media video that federal agent did break the window.
Turn your eyes. Turn your eyes. Wait, que lo va a quemar, güey, que te mueres.
The driver and the man who fled
should have followed instructions.
Both had active ICE detainers. The man filming was arrested for interfering.
Is it legal for law enforcement to break a window to gain entry into a vehicle that has been pulled over? If so, in what circumstances?
Yes. So our ultimate goal is we want to maintain voluntary surrender, right? So in this situation, we did have a detainer to be able to arrest the driver in this situation. So when the driver did not surrender in this situation, it did escalate to be able to have some compliance. So force was used.
I reached out to ICE asking whether they could confirm it was an ICE agent in the video, in what circumstances agents can legally break car windows to gain entry, and what the consequences are if it's found to be an illegal act on the part of the agent. I did not hear back.
Yep. Now UHP tells me that troopers are trained to meet non-compliance with force like this if need be. Reporting live in Weber County, Natalie Wattis, KUTV 2 News.
Oh, you heard that?
Yep. All right, here's that that one that just recently retired about 2 days ago. He got his name. The commander.
Don't you know that's the way to go?
Hey, Bavino, you can't throw the tear gas when we're filming. We have your hands tied. You know you're at the mercy of the American people. No? The American people will stand up to you, and you know it.
Really? Why don't you come out here then? What?
Move out of the way. Hey, get back in your car. Get out of here. You're good to go.
They want to throw the tear gas so bad.
They'd be swallowing those whistles.
Hey, you're free to go. There's nobody blocking you. You can drive away.
Where's that?
Why you get out, man?
There is nobody in front of you. You can just drive away. They just want video. They just want tear gas. They want to hurt the American people. They could leave. There's nothing here.
They're going to get that tear gas. They keep it up.
We got some shit to say to you.
I turned this one down for a minute.
You could leave.
I would too, Heather. I agree.
You could leave. You want tear gas. You want escalation.
They're trying to do their job.
Hey, why don't you just go?
They're trying to do their job. They're looking for someone or about to arrest someone with all them around, with all that idiots going around.
Why don't you just go? There's nothing here. It's an empty road.
I turned it down, John.
You just want tear gas.
Right at the end, I got to turn it up.
Why don't you go? Answer me. Why don't you go?
Arrest someone. Arrest them. They start smashing the truck, you're going to get arrested. Yep. There's the guy that they're honoring right there.
Get back! Gas is coming! Gas is coming! Second warning! We're filming you! Gas on film, Savino! Third warning! Gas on film!
He's not wearing a mask. They must be used to it. They're the one. Those idiots, the leftists, are the ones causing the issue.
Sam! I have it!
Really? The older you get, the less you care about jail time. I never spend any time in jail.
The green stuff, the green stuff.
Huge, yeah.
The green stuff is super carcinogenic. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're aggravating. I did turn it down. Hopefully you can still hear them, what they're saying.
Guys, don't breathe the green
I know the
stuff. It's
whistle's
so dangerous.
too much of it is too much. You know? I'm going to turn it up just at the tail end so the next volume is up.
Yeah. Holy. What's going on back there? I don't know.
I swear there's something wrong with these leftists. It's mental.
Yeah, but don't go in that. We need to go in it. You can go this side. It's not green. Put your stuff over your face.
I got him out of there. It's going to happen, huh?
But
I forgot what you said, Kirk. Oh.
Sam, back out. They're just moving. My eye.
Something big.
Oh, my eye.
It needs to happen.
You going?
We need to have free and fair elections. You know, we got to get rid of all the cheating. The Democrats, I think, are cooked for a while if they keep, you know, if we get that really changed for the right, the right way.
Guys, that stuff, the green stuff's dangerous. Don't breathe that. Are you okay? Sam, I have Bovino getting it over there. Let them cross. I have Bovino throwing gas. It's right here.
Fuck you!
Both of them this up again. I need to upload this one first.
Especially you little fuck,
You could leave! Just move!
You big bitch boy gas yourself.
You don't have to be harassing him. You move.
Over here.
Sorry, that's what I have to say to him. Let me turn this back up so that the next one's not too low. Let's do the cartoon one here. This is about social justice.
I'm a time traveler from the year 2026, and I'm here to end you, Hitler. Soon we will be able to take back the White House, and we will be able to use the government to force people to follow our great ideas.
You want to force your ideas into the population, right? Me too!
You and I have nothing in common. What I'm saying is that there is people in our time with dangerous ideas, and we need to silence them.
Silence those who disagree with you. I do that too!
What I'm saying is that we are very close to creating utopia, as long as we can get rid of some undesirable people grouping.
Yes, the Jews.
Yes, yes, the Jews. Oh.
Very fun. Oh, they want to kill more Jews, actually. They'd like to kill Christians as well. Tell you that. This ought to get underneath your skin about the Democrats here.
Guess the top 5 presidents with the highest IQ. Highest IQ of all time. By the way, these are...
Oh, play this for a Democrat sometime. Let me start it again. Watch this.
Guess the top 5 presidents with the highest IQ. Highest IQ of all time. By the way, these are crazy high. Crazy high.
JFK, hot and smart.
Yeah. John F. Kennedy, number 5, 150 IQ.
I think some of the OGs like Washington, Lincoln. Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, they were all dum-dums.
Obama.
No, didn't make the list.
Bush.
No. He's on the other, list, so remember that for later.
I absolutely wouldn't have said Bush, either one of them.
No.
Dumb and smart.
No. Woodrow Wilson.
Dumb and smart.
Woodrow Wilson,
Dumb
number
and ugly.
4, 150 IQ. Number 3 is 155.
Hoover.
James Madison, number 3, 155. Number 2 is 160
he won't
IQ,
be there.
which is getting crazy high up there.
All right.
It's like triple G.
I'm surprised if she was a leftist, she probably would have said Biden on there, or Tommy Harris or something.
Genius.
Biden.
No, Thomas Jefferson. Biden did
I
not
agree,
seem to have a
Marianne.
very high IQ there. Maybe when he's a younger man.
Watch this number
Thomas
1.
Jefferson, number 2, 160. Number 1, 175 IQ. Mind-blowing. And he says it too. Go to drinkloom.com for 30% off your first order.
Oh,
Click
you got to
the
put
link
up with
below.
the ad to get the answer.
Trump.
Donald Trump, number 1, 175 IQ.
Give me
You believe
a
it?
fucking break.
I'm telling you.
You tell she's a leftist. Tell that to a leftist. They'll have a meltdown. Absolutely. All right, the next one, they inflated the ambulance number cost on paper so they could charge more. They're charging us a lot more. Watch. This is
A massive investigation has uncovered that California may have committed major fraud against the US government by exploiting this complicated loophole that's allowed them to steal billions in federal taxpayer funds. One of the largest and most convoluted schemes in modern history has been discovered during a review of California's medical financial records. Investigators found that under Gavin Newsom's leadership, the Golden State has essentially been funneling taxpayer money from all across America to prop up California's own finances. The ingenious plan started in 2022, and it revolves around the complex concept of intergovernmental transfers, which in simple terms is when a local hospital or county makes a transfer to the state Medicaid agency for payments of medical services such as ambulance rides. After the transfers are made, the state can then request a matching amount of money from the federal government, but Newsom's California abused this system by raising the price of a simple ambulance ride by nearly 300%, and then once the local hospitals made the transfer to the state and the state received the matching funds from the federal government, they then instead paid a private ambulance service which cost only a fraction of the original price, pocketing the difference. But the thing is, this is all legal and the government must find a way to close this loophole.
Hey, he's ripping us off. Wonder where the extra money's going, huh? I wonder where the extra money's going. All right, Dick Shirley interviewed some New Yorkers, New York Cityers, about the lawlessness. Watch what she has to say.
They're not legal. If they were legal, they need to pay taxes.
What do you think is going to happen with the migrant crisis here in New York City?
It's getting bad because they're also next to my house and they piss on my door. I could tell that they're gang lords. I mean, they're tattooed up to head to toe. The people pissing on my door, they're tattooed up head to toe. And they're not, there's no law against illegal migrants committing crimes. So again, it's lawlessness, non-payment of taxes, siphoning all our money to their native countries, and it's just killing our economy. Eric Adams just said he's going to give 4,000 migrants jobs. That means 4,000 civilians have less jobs. It's just not fair to Americans. It's getting scary. Right now, people in the Bronx are getting attacked. People Upper East Side, 2 of them just got attacked, and it's illegal to buy mace. It's illegal to protect yourself. I've lived here 50 years. And this is not fair that we feel unsafe in our homeland and our own country is not defending us and there's nobody to protect us. The police can do nothing.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything either because they'll lose their jobs probably. Here's a model in Dubai can be arrested for disobeying.
When they realize like I'm actually going to go ahead and get a divorce because screw this amicable stuff. The Dubai police called me and said that there is a charge against me for disobeying my husband, which is called ta'a zawjiyya in Arabic, which is a Sharia law, and I need to return to his house. Otherwise, they will arrest me forcibly and take me back home, and I can't leave without his permission.
That's in Dubai. Just for all you fuckers who keep bigging the place up. Yeah?
That's in Dubai.
That's in Dubai. Yeah? For the great place of Dubai. Winds me up how I see people big up how it is when I still know what's going on there in certain aspects to women.
Yeah.
In lots of issues.
Wow.
Okay. And they've I'm guessing you run.
I ran back to my house and I was like, Mom, Dad, this is what's up. And they were like, no way. And I was like, yeah, I thought no way as well, but it is possible in this country. And my dad's like, there is no way any judge or anyone or any court of law could send you back there. Not on my, and that's exactly what I said. I said, apparently,
Dad, you know that
real law can.
That religion we follow.
Apparently it's fun.
So what says this?
Exactly. And where does that come from? The Quranic verse about if you merely fear disobedience, obviously me leaving him and leaving the house is mad disobedience. So yeah, that was put on me, and I was like, shoot, now things are very, very serious.
Yep. Here's a Canadian living in the USA telling us a little bit about a reality up there.
Hello, I'm a Canadian living in the United States. I just have a really quick question. Are you aware of what's actually happening in your own country? Now, one of the things that I like to do around here is I like to do research before I speak. So I just went ahead and I made you a couple notes. So please allow me to explain to you what literally just happened yesterday in Canada. Okay, there was 4 public safety bills and they were all voted down. So there's one called Bill C-246. Have you heard of it? If not, that's okay. I'll sum it up for you. So it would have made sure that sexual predators serve time for each victim, not a bulk discount. Okay, that was voted down. Did you hear about Bill C-220? Okay, if not, that's okay. I'm here to help you. It would have stopped lighter sentences for rapists and child predators just because deportation might happen after. That was voted down. Okay. Did you hear about Bill C-243? If not, it's fine, I'm here for you. It would have protected victims from having to relive their trauma at parole hearings over and over and over again. The victims actually begged for this. It was voted down. Did you hear about Bill C-242? If not, once again, I'm here to help you. The Jail Not Bail Act? Okay, well, that targeted repeat offenders cycling in and out of the system, and that was voted down too. And you know what? Can I just give you a little big picture here really quickly? I have the time. So before you talk about avoiding America, can you talk about what's happening at home? Violent crime has risen significantly over the past decade, okay? Car theft is at record.
They've been bringing illegals in.
Highs. Do you like your vehicle? How about the collapsing healthcare system? Millions of Canadians still don't have a family doctor and or access to one. Housing is completely unaffordable.
They keep pushing that maid suicide.
Food bank usage is at record highs. The catch and release policies are frustrating even law enforcement. Your own prime minister said that you will need to make sacrifices and suffer, and those were his words, not mine. Where I'm from, my tiny little town has 4 homeless encampments. 4. But sure, America's the problem, right? Can you do me one really big favor, Smith Rental Property? Just turn the TV off, just for a day. The United States is not this dystopian nightmare that you're being sold, okay? And Canada is not this flawless utopia that you pretend it is. Actually, common sense matters here, okay? We need to look at both sides before you decide where you're going to step foot and where you're not going to step foot, all right? I think today we should touch some grass. All right, have a wonderful day.
Yep. All right, this lady says UK media should be ashamed of themselves, not reporting on stuff.
BBC, Sky, Guardian, ITV should all be seriously ashamed of yourselves. I'm bothered to cover 1 second of this grooming gang. Sorry, should I say rape gang? Not one single headline. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Santander's cycle app left users unable to hire bikes. And also, how to make The Guardian your go-to news source in Google search, because that's really important. And this is exactly why the media have absolutely zero credibility left, because they don't report the truth. Too concerned with pushing certain narratives, making people look far right, making people look crazy, making people look like a conspiracy theory, dividing people. That's what the media do, and that's all the media are good for. Media are so complicit in this. And let's not forget, not only are they not reporting on it, they are also massively covering it up. Still trust the media in 2025. You need to have a serious word with yourself. The silence is deafening. UK media, you should be ashamed of yourselves. The question is, why aren't they covering it? And it's because the story doesn't fit neatly into their little political idea / agenda they have going on. If the media's role is to inform the public, then silence on serious crimes isn't neutral, it's a choice. This isn't about stirring hate, this isn't about being racist, this is about the victims, this is about truth, and this is about transparency. And this is also about many Labour MPs involved and covering up.
Yep. So I got another one from Karen Kennedy, Wednesday News. She's talking about the left is trying to demand reparations for, I think, I can't remember. I think it was for illegals for being deported.
Democrat Pramila Jayapal
demands reparations. Yeah, you heard me. Reparations for illegal aliens. Check this out. Thank you, RNC Research, for posting this.
Charles, I'm hoping they do become the 51st state. Part of it, the Alberta and Saskatchewan parts. Those are both kind of conservative.
We also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability. Because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us, and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created.
Trauma?
And we are going to have some form of reparation.
Dude, I'm not even going to show you her ugly face because I'm just not going to do that to y'all this afternoon. It's, a week before Easter, whatever. Look, Pramila Jayapal is an ungrateful ass foreigner. She came here. She was already born. I don't know if her parents were legal or illegal. Don't matter. She came here. She's from India, from a place that literally has a caste system. There is extremely rich. There is extremely poor. People in parts of India bathe in the same river that animals bathe in. She is and
go to bathroom, man.
Ungrateful bitch. How dare you? How dare you come from absolute disgusting, despicable poverty and come to a wealthy country that was built on the backs of my ancestors who were slaves in this country. Oh, wait a minute. Black folks been asking for reparations for things like that for years. It never comes to
Marianne, I did the holistic stuff, and I was supposed to have a triple heart bypass because of my heart being damaged, and I was able to open up the bad area of my heart that was damaged by having my chest beat in, from less than 20% flow up to 53% flow so far. I'm trying to get it even more open.
Fruition, nobody ever cares. It's been tried so many times. The Democrats bring it up every now and again when they cater to and coddle illegal aliens, and then they're being deported or they're self-deporting, and then they're like, oh shit, we have no voters. Where them darkies at? Let's go get the darkies back. We need them darkies again. Brandon Johnson is doing it. They're doing it in other districts. In New York, they're doing it. They need the black voters back because the illegals are not going to be here. They realize President Trump is serious.
Or you should have ICE agents at the polling stations.
And now he's issued the executive order concerning no more mass mail-in ballots. He's going to make sure that only American citizens vote. Voter ID will be strictly enforced. Citizens only will be strictly enforced, and these Democrats are freaking the hell out. So that's why Pramila Jayapal, this selfish garbage bag from
and the birthright thing needs got to get changed too.
A foreign country is trying to lecture us on how she demands reparations for individuals who are unlawfully present in the United States. Are you shitting me right now? She and Ilhan Omar and these other disgusting...
Charles, I didn't end up having to have it. My heart was damaged, bruised by Antifa. Long story on that. I'll tell it next time I'm on. But I opened it way up.
Foreigners who are constantly demanding for illegal aliens to be put above Black American citizens. Every FBA needs to hear this. And you need to walk the hell away from the Democrat Party. Now, let me just go ahead and school you. You need to run away from the Democrat Party. If you are, you need to just tell them to kick rocks. These Democrats do not care about you, and it's full of...
Yeah, John, I was told I had less than 1% chance of living, and they had to put me on the heart machine, breathing machine, and revive me 2 times.
That party is full of foreigners.
And I was 100% paralyzed when I first woke up.
Who are trying to replace your black ass. You need to hear me.
I couldn't see out of my right eye, and I couldn't even move my left eye.
And hear me good. I just played this video of Pramila Jayapal, a foreigner, lecturing us and telling us that our taxpayer dollars need to fund trillions of dollars to support illegal aliens who are unlawfully present here because of ICE, because she said they've been traumatized. The poor, precious fucking illegals. Wait a minute. What about the poor angel families who have to live without their loved one? This Easter Resurrection Day is coming up. They have to live without their loved one because of illegal aliens. And your bitch ass Pramila Jayapal is telling.
I tend to agree with you, Marianne. You need doctors. There's no doubt about that. Just the meds. If you can get yourself more on using natural stuff than the meds. I've got myself off almost all my meds. Almost all. Like I'm on a blood thinner and a cholesterol drug.
Telling me that
Here, I'll show you this. I don't know if I can't see if it's on the screen because I'm looking at the other one here. Well, you can't see it there. But anyways, I had this lady on. She's a good friend of mine. And I did a lot of this stuff from her book, Health Book, in any case.
I gotta pay for a bunch of illegals murdering and raping and taking people off the planet, but you want to keep them here? What? Because you ain't got your voters? Because your policies are so ridiculous that nobody with a functioning brain would ever vote for this garbage. You're losing your voters and you know it. That's why you want to keep coddling these illegals, the few that are left, and give them everything they want so they risk going to jail or being deported and never being able to come back here again. By the way, public service announcement, take the money. The DHS is offering you a very generous package, all expense paid. One-way ticket, one way only, one way. Back to your country or back to the country, wherever you want to go in the world, we'll send you. We're going to send your baby kids. We're going to send your mom. We're going to send your dad.
My wife has had 34 surgeries.
We're going to send your Oma, your abuela. We're going to send everybody, your grandpa. We're going to send everybody back to the country of origin, or we'll send you anywhere else. Go home before ICE and that one big, beautiful, bodacious ass bill kicks in and we hire them.
And that's why, since my stroke, I do a word searching. I know I mess up words all the time. I can't come up with the right word all the time. I word search a little bit, but everything else has come back to me.
Million more ICE agents to get your monkey ass out of here. Anyway, Pramila Jayapal, we're not giving any reparations to illegals. Are you what? No, let's take the money that you've been stealing and all of your Democrat members of Congress and anybody else who has supported all these illegals. Let's take your money and give it to the angel families. Let's do that. I like that deal better. You want to talk about reparations? We're going to give it to the angel families, not to illegals.
Just temporary on the pills there, John. In the long run, those can hurt you. I got one more clip here. It's pretty good. Tomorrow, programming note at 5, Hawa's supposed to be on with me, and it's going to be about the Christians being crucified over in Haiti and not in Haiti, in Nigeria and those places. She's from that area originally, and she's going to talk about it. She's been on my channel before many times. I'm going to end with this one here. I didn't title it, but this guy's real good.
So let me get this straight. The people who trusted the plan, the people who said that Trump was in charge of the military and all that bullshit, now you're jumping ship now? I told you that was all bullshit, not to believe in that, and you said I was crazy, that I was somehow unpatriotic and couldn't be trusted. Now I'm telling you that Trump is the plan, and that unlike Q, where you just had to trust in it, Trump's plan you can actually go read. And let me tell those of you that are having problems or sitting on the fence, that document, the NSS, the National Security Strategy, is the most pro-America, America First document written in this nation by anybody in government since the Constitution. And this is part of it. What Michael Knowles says here is what Trump is striving for.
Trump, what I think he's after is not just revenge or even self-protection for the guy who tried to kill him. I don't think it's just about the oil. I don't think it's about freedom for the people in Iran. I think it's in part about that, but I don't think it's only about that. I don't think Trump wants to retreat, as an isolationist. I don't think Trump wants to spread democracy around the world. Here is what I think Trump wants. And the Iran strike gives you this perfectly, or could give you this perfectly if it doesn't spin out of control. Trump wants to reshape the world order in a way that benefits the United States. The American empire has been on decline for 25 years, since 9/11. Maybe even before that. You know, we had this huge peak because of the dot-com bubble and the information technology revolution. But we were socially becoming weaker. And after the Cold War, we kind of squandered the post-war dividend, and we were kind of declining. And then we had the bungle in Iraq and Afghanistan, we started declining. We had the global financial crisis, we're declining more. We had the Obama years were really declining. I mean, this is really bad. Then we had Trump come in the first term and kind of staved it off a little bit. Okay, but then Biden, oh my goodness, we just started plummeting. 3 million illegals coming in a year. People don't speak English anymore. The economy is on the brink. It's just collapsing.
I don't know if I agree with anyone, Marianne, 100% of the time, just most of the time.
Right, and then Trump comes in. And I think what he wants to do is just reset things. Say, no, we can win it. I mean, even the shock for many Americans 50 and under, that the American military actually can succeed and succeed beyond people's wildest expectations when the politicians in Washington don't constrain them, when we fight a war to defeat our enemy and get what we want.
So what's next? What comes next? Let's say that the Democrats win in 2026. They take the House. They take the Senate. What comes next? Well, the impeachments, of course. And then once that's done and Trump's in prison, what's next? Well, you remember what they did for January 6th? That will be pale in comparison to what they have planned. Now, don't take my word for it.
If I do shows on the weekend, I think they're going to have to be a little later because I got family things, you know, that'll run till about 6. So I might be doing them at like 7.
That's what they've been saying for years. Remember this cunt?
You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And how do you...
The moment Trump is locked up,
she needs prison,
incapacitated, the moment they believe that MAGA is dead, then the purge begins, folks. Don't take my word for it.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Take theirs.
You're watching the Kramer Says Project.
Okay.
So let me get this.
I got a good guest tomorrow. Remember, Hawa's coming on. Okay. It's going to be about the whole, what's going on with the killing of all the kids. Mostly that's what it's about. We also talk other topics and all that. All right. God bless everyone. Thanks for hanging on the extra few minutes. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.